I have, honestly, in my life, I have never felt the disappointment I felt when watching. Honestly, 7 wasn't so bad because I thought,
7 was fine.
7 was fine. I figured, they'll try and do something different. And then 8 and 9 came out, and a part of me died. And over time,
Cole?
I've accepted that they don't exist. I have accepted that. It is not my own thing. I have accepted they don't exist.
Can you tell me, when we watched episode 8 in theaters, you sat literally to my right. You're my right-hand man for that.
Yes.
Or I was your left-hand man.
Yes.
And at the end of the movie...
Okay, no, you're missing a very important part. Okay. I had already seen the movie once. I had seen the movie once already, so this was my second viewing of it.
Yes.
And I was so excited to finish the movie and have Mike turn to me and share his thoughts with me. And he says, that was pretty good. And the rage I felt resulted in the infamous line I've said to him many times. I said, it was pretty good for the death of Star Wars.
Just so melodramatic and over the top.
Well, you know what?
It did die to you that day.
It died to me because I figured, second rewatch, maybe it'll be good. But it didn't pick up. So it got me thinking, because I hated those movies that didn't happen. What's some media that's come out recently that you guys have been very disappointed in, that you guys have been that have hurt you?
So I got a quick one that's on topic with what you just said. I have come around to your worldview where I don't really like. You know which one actually broke me from the last 3 of Star Wars was actually not The Last Jedi, but it was the following film, Episode 9. I can't remember.
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm okay with what Rain, or whatever his name is, did for number 3 or number 2, because like it took Star Wars in a different direction, which upsets like the classic purists like Cole.
Sure.
But to me, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a new idea. But then they completely backtracked on it in the next movie and then made up a bunch of stuff that doesn't really make sense. And then that ruined that trilogy.
Props to Rian Johnson for at least trying something. I mean, he went a little too far with like trying to subvert everybody's expectations, and it's like time and place. But then episode 9, it was just like,
it was just image control.
Hold on, did anyone know what they were doing when they started this trilogy? Because all like the 2 movies that came after 7 just tried to like undo the movie that came before them.
Well, I mean, there was someone that was working on episode 9 before J.J. Abrams took over.
Trevorrow.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his first name is.
And he released a script, or his script for episode 9, and like it's not great, but like it was much better than what we got.
Yeah. No, like
I think it was called Duel of the Fates or something.
Episode 9 tried to like pander to me, and it just felt pandering.
Exactly. Like they just kind of backtracked on the people. They're like, no, don't worry. It's the Star Wars you know and love. It's all good. It's all good. Remember Palpatine?
No.
Just kept feeding Cole those member berries.
Yeah. Somehow Palpatine has returned. Shut up. That's so stupid.
Literally the first line of the opening crawl in episode 9 is "The dead speaks" or something like that.
Anyway, sorry. I have a few that I could go over, but I want to give you guys space before I rave.
Well, no. Rage.
Yeah, rage. That's what this is for.
You know what I've come around to decide that I don't like anymore, and I am going to rage against?
The Machine?
Other than The Machine.
Oh, okay.
Marvel. I'm done with Marvel, man. I don't care anymore.
I'm done with Marvel.
I think it's mostly just superheroes in general. I think I'm fatigued with.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Marvel,
even like
Marvel
DC,
ended in Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Batman was pretty good.
The Batman was good. I think that's mostly because it was an original idea rather than like part of a cinematic universe. Like the moment that becomes part of a cinematic universe, I'm done.
Yeah. I got no time for that. Yeah, superhero.
I've never liked
movies.
DC.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like it's just the Marvel. Once they got past Thanos, it just started like felt like they kind of lost their way. Like it's too confusing now. There's like multiple timelines. There's too much going on, and I can't bring myself to care about it anymore. Like,
and it's not even like just the fact that like the story's just kind of done, but like it's releasing too quickly and it's releasing everywhere. Like back in the day when like the Infinity Saga was coming out, like you just go to the theater and that was your Marvel Cinematic Universe experience.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, go to Disney Plus, go to the theater, go here, go there, go everywhere.
Yeah, it's too much. Star Wars is doing the same thing now, where it's like if you miss a show, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But the shows, from what I hear for Star Wars, from what I hear from the shows though, like the shows are actually still good quality for Star Wars.
But I feel like you shouldn't, like, it shouldn't be a prerequisite to have to watch a television show in order to understand what's going on. Like the most recent Doctor Strange movie had that issue.
I'm personally okay with it because, like, the movie, if you're not invested all the way into the franchise, like you would have watched a movie. What's the difference between paying Disney Plus the $10 a month or whatever versus paying the money to watch a movie?
Well, it's not the paying the money; it's the time investment. It's the having to tune in to Disney Plus every week to make sure that you watch the
binge it like a long movie. Like I don't agree with you on that one. But each their own.
People don't do that though. People.
I just looked up like what even Marvel movies came out this year, and man, I am not watched any of these.
I think Ant-Man.
The exception being Spider-Man.
Ant-Man was just bad.
But like you mean Spider-Man, like Across the
Spider-Verse?
Yeah, like that. That's not a Marvel movie. That's a. I mean, it is a Marvel character.
It's not what I'm talking about.
Literally a Marvel movie, but like it's not an MCU film.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Are you guys hyped for the Marvels or Captain America: Brave New World?
No.
Avengers: The Kang Dynasty? No. Right, like nobody cares anymore. Just save yourself a lot of money and just don't do it. Honestly, though, I think they do pretty well still overseas.
Go watch Dune Part 2.
When does that come out? I thought they pushed it back.
I think October, November.
Speaking of not being disappointed in something, Dune
was pretty good. Now, Jay, what were you disappointed in? Speaking of disappointment,
so before
sorry, I just got off the phone with my mom.
Before we get into that, I just want to say it's kind of weird because like movie theaters in general, like the movie going experience, if you look at the box office numbers, it's kind of dying.
COVID broke the movie industry.
Yeah.
They kind of, once they started putting, what they did wrong was they let people like watch new movies a lot quicker on home streaming, and people were like, wait a minute,
this is
pretty good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
I like doing this at home and not having to go somewhere to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm a sucker for movies though, I will say.
I'm gonna be that guy and say I know what you mean. Like, if I'm going to watch a Marvel movie, sure, I'll watch it at home. But, like, watching Oppenheimer or Dune in the movie theater, like, that's... You need to go see movies like that in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas, like, when I watched Barbie, I love the Barbie movie. I would have been just as happy watching it on the home screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I could watch Barbie at home.
Jay, what were you going to say? We cut you off again.
But no. Like, I think that this is exactly the conversation that I wanted to have. Was, like... Back in the day, like every movie would be like something like an event that you'd want to go to, and now it's like you're picking and choosing. Okay, do I want to go to this one or do I want to like wait for streaming? Whereas like back in the day, it was just like, oh, I need to go see that like now.
Yeah,
it's just you gotta stay with the times, right? Like things change, things evolve.
I know, but it's just kind of sad.
Here's my stand-up routine, guys. Remember back in the day? remember when Episode 3 came out? Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Just how much hype there was surrounding it. Like, there was so many like tie-in. Promotional things,
yeah.
Our City Free Press had that like pin collection thing. Do you remember that? I had all the pins. I still do. They're somewhere. I'll find them.
They're around there.
I'll show you all one day.
I think the only thing I remember is like the Jar Jar Binks like cups that you would get at like things. Right. Jar Jar was awesome.
You know what? Jar Jar Binks is overhated. When I watch Phantom Menace, I'm like, he's okay.
Okay, question for you, Cole. Do you believe in the Darth Jar Jar theory?
Yes, it's 100% true. I'm answering for Cole.
No, I don't. Jar Jar Binks was just straight up just a clumsy buffoon who managed to buffoon his way into victory in episode 1.
Let's go this whole episode, Jay, with just like bringing up things that piss Cole off the whole way through.
Oh no, that doesn't. I find that funny. I think that there is some like legitimacy to it, but I don't think like George Lucas was like pulling a fast one on everybody.
I think maybe at some point there was a chance that Ryan Johnson or whatever actually had genuinely
he thought about
planned to go that direction, which is crazy.
Maybe he thought about it, but no, Jar Jar was just
it'd be too big of a crate, and to bring him back too.
Oh, and people would be like furious about it too.
Just bring him back in like a book, like they did with Thrawn.
Yeah.